Welcome back, everyone. This is Weems from Grow Up and Game, and you are watching the Satisfactory Early Access build. So, when we last left off, I was working on leveling up the hub. Well, a few things have changed since then. I went ahead and decided to spare you watching me smelt ore for about 2 hours straight, and built a couple, we'll say, core structures. Well, not core structures, got some core upgrades, some core hub upgrades, and a few other things done. So let's start by going over what I already created. As you can see, all 5 hub upgrades. This includes things like the Miner Mark 1, storage containers, additional inventory slots, biomass burners, the ability to build the space elevator, object scanner, and the beacon, which can be used to mark areas of interest basically on your compass. Then on top of that, I actually went ahead and got a few of these tier 1 upgrades done. First one being the utility upgrade, which gives us access to biofuel, lookout tower, and walls, basically. The big one here is biofuel. As far as I know, this is the best fuel you can get through biomass. As it says in the tooltip, the most energy efficient form of biomass. So this puts us in a good spot. And then on top of that, I went ahead, crafted a whole bunch of biofuel with all those leaves and wood we were collecting. So, got that out of the way. And then also got the personal storage upgrade. This is more of a quality of life thing. I'm going to be going around, I'm going to be building stuff, I'm going to be picking stuff up, and I just wanted to have the most flexibility I could so I could minimize the number of trips I was making. And also the ability to create another personal storage box if I want, my storage box to the left there starts running out, which I'm sure at some point it will. So the goal of this video is we're going to finish off Tier 1 and the space elevator. So Tier 1 here, we need 200 plates, 200 rods, 500 wire. Now, as you can see, we're already partway there, but I'm done smelting by hand. I'm sick of it. It's boring. Actually, it wasn't that bad. I basically would go collect a whole bunch of ore, put a weight on my mouse, and then walk away for a little while it did it for me. So it wasn't absolutely horrible, but not exactly the most compelling gameplay, I'll admit. And this will give us the productivity display, splitters and mergers, which are a huge help. And then, after we have logistics done, we will go ahead and get the conveyor walls upgrade here, which is just more wall conveyor belts. Looks like some additional stairs, and we need a whole bunch of resources for that. So we can actually get this done right now, but I don't want to, sacrifice, short-term, I don't want short-term games and sacrifice our efforts in the long term, because the big thing we're going to need to build, and we'll come back to that object scanner in a second, is the space elevator. This guy needs 500 concrete, 250 plates, 400 rods, and 1,500 wire. So this is going to be a big project. And if you do the math, that means total for this whole project, we're going to need 500 concrete, 550 plates, 700 rods, 2,250 wire, which will be created from 1,500 concrete, 1,800 iron, and 750 copper. Now these are attainable numbers on their own, but doing this by hand will take ages. So we're going to automate it. It's time. The game is satisfactory after all, right? We got to get the factories involved. But before we start that, we do have this object scanner item here, which needs pale berries apparently. So we're going to keep our eyes open for some of those. And the way I unlocked that was actually, if you go inside our little home base here, we have this thing called the M.A.M. And this is kind of like a research station. So I went ahead and actually already did the flower petals and the pale berry. But now I've got an alien carpus here that I've been holding on to. We're going to drop this in here, and it's going to take 7.5 minutes for it to get analyzed. But I can just begin that now, and I don't have to do anything. It's just going to work on its own. So while that's running, let's get some factories up. If you look at my inventory, you'll see I've got a lot of the basics here. Got lots of cable, lots of concrete, nice amount of iron plating and iron rods, some reinforced iron plates, some screws, and quite a bit of wire. And we're going to use this, and our first step is we are going to build factory chains to build these 4 materials we need: concrete, plates, rods, and wire. And I'm going to pick iron to be our first project here, simply because we need the most of it. So let's begin. Now, while I was getting all set up, I actually found quite a bit closer a nice pure iron deposit. So we're going to go ahead and just use this one. Now, in this game, you have the ability to create actual structures, as kind of shown by, the various things that we're getting, walls, etc., etc. For the purpose of our project here, my goal is functionality kind of over fashion here. We're not building any structures. We're gonna have some constructors and everything out in the open. We're just trying to get the job done. Let's keep it simple and see how quickly we can do this. Sound like a plan? I think it sounds like a plan. So the first thing you need in any factory automation is resources. And these are extracted by a machine here called the Miner Mark 1. So we set that up, and then we're going to take from there. Okay, so you have your raw materials. That's all good. Once you have your raw materials, the next step is you need to turn those materials into ore. And up until now, I've been basically doing that manually. It's not the most exciting process. I am not going to lie to you. So we're going to let the machine do it for us. And maybe I'm going to have to move this already. You can go and, using the F button, switch and dismantle these. And as far as I can tell, you get all of your resources. So that's 5 iron rods, 8 wire. How much does it cost to make that smelter? 5 and 8. Perfect. So we're going to move this forward a little bit, because I'm pretty sure that entrance was blocked. Now we're going to set up a conveyor belt here and here. Easy enough so far. Okay. So we have iron. Great. What does that do? Nothing right now. We still have to go turn that into materials. So that's where this wonderful thing known as a constructor comes in. We're going to go ahead and build this nice and close. No sense it being far away at all for the time being. Actually, you know what? Spoiler alert. We're going to go and split this off to the side. We're going to go, and as you can see, you can bend the conveyor belts without too much of an issue. So we got all this set up, but it doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, does it? Why do you think that is? Of course, factories need power, right? So, let's give it some power. Power is obtained through these generators, and I've already taken the liberty to preload it with a whole bunch of biofuel, so we should be good to go. It's just a matter of connecting these guys and turning it on. And if we're going to do a little one-to-one here for the time being, and drop a power pole here, and switch to the power line, connected to here, power line. And then it's just a matter of drawing the lines across. And whatever, nanotech we have that's automatically moving power lines over here, it seems to be working. Like I said before, the last step is simply to turn it on. And it's already on. So it looks like it was on before, but unless it has somewhere to route the power to, it doesn't do anything. That's actually, I didn't know that. But if we take a look over here, you can see it's already sitting here pumping out rock. But there's a problem. It stopped here. Why is that? Because you need to set up this guy here to go ahead and produce the ore. So now it's spitting out the ingots. Now we're gonna make this construct plates. Seems like a good plan, right? I think it does. And if we look at the manufacturing rate of each of these structures, this kicks out 30 ingots per minute, and this kicks out 15 plates per minute. So that means we are pretty much perfectly efficient. And the last step here, to really bring it all together while that's working, is we can actually create essentially like these shipping containers or storage containers. So if I build that there, then you'll start to see these plates move in. And this will just kind of run. So I'm going to let it do its thing. At some point, we're going to have to move over and switch it from plates to rods, but that's not, until a little while here. So looking at my chart here, the next thing that needs to be built at 1500 concrete is going to be the concrete manufacturer. Now this is actually kind of tricky. I'm not sure if there's a way to automate the creation of concrete. I'm guessing there probably is, but I don't know it. So we're going to just go ahead, and there's going to be a bit of a manual process. I'm going to pick up the miner with the concrete inside, pick up the miner, and our goal is to literally just mine the concrete and put it into a container. Real simple. So let's go ahead and get that miner set up. Face it towards our base over here. And then all we really need is a shipping container and some power. If I remember correctly, the other hub has a decent bit of capacity left, so we're going to go ahead and just use that to power this guy up. And we need our container. And we'll manually create it. It shouldn't take too long. We're going to go ahead and do that. Let's get some power over here. Now what I don't know is how many power lines I can pull from here. Here, can't pull more lines to this connection. So we're going to have to kind of fork this out a little bit, actually. I'm going to go ahead and build another tower, build a power pole here. And then I'm actually going to take this power line and I'm going to dismantle it. We're going to take a power line. We're going to put it to this hub. And then we're going to take it and put it to that tower over there. And now we should be back in business. And let's go confirm. Yep, things are running again. But we're now able to fork this back over. And this can go quite a ways, as you can see. And we only need the one. So that's going to go ahead and power this. And if we go look at our power capacity, we should be okay. So we are right up there. Is everything running? Yeah, we are at capacity, basically. Plates are coming out. It's all moving. Do we have concrete rolling out here? Or sorry, limestone. Not concrete yet. We have to make the concrete. Limestone's rolling out. All right, we got a nice little system here. So the next step is to get that copper going. Remember, we need 750 copper still for all of these projects. And I have our copper deposit over here. This one's a little further away. Let's go ahead and grab all. So this is why I went ahead and got those inventory increases, because last thing I want to do is be running back and forward, needing to make room for everything. Alright, we got all these guys, and by now you probably understand the process. Miner mark 1. Pointer over here. We're gonna go ahead and create that smelter. I'm gonna let it just run its way down this hill. groovy. Now, if your belt here collides through the ground or, you know, bends too much, it won't let you do it. So you need to use these little arms here, which are actually pretty handy, because you can actually make them taller, shorter, whatever. You can use those to kind of turn them around. So you can navigate the terrain fairly easily, which is good. So next up, we're going to go ahead and create that constructor. That'll go here. And then we're also going to need that storage container. And you guessed it, belts to connect them all. And this will need to be another set of 3 power lines connecting to it. And conveniently enough, with one of our upgrades, I believe it was either Hub 4 or Hub 5, we got a second biomass burner. So we can go ahead, create this power pole way over here. We're going to take this empty guy here, build it all the way over here. Easy enough, right? And we just need to go over here. And let's see, make sure it's mining out that copper. Powered up. Come on. There it goes. So we gotta configure it to smelt the copper at a rate of 30 per minute. Then configure this to create some wire at a rate of 45 per minute, but it takes 1 in and 3 out, so that's should be fairly efficient. And at this point, it's more or less a waiting game. And if I were so inclined, which I kind of am, I could even bring this all together by having it all go into the same container. So you know what? Doesn't take any power, right? So why not? We're going to have our mega storage container right by our home base. But what's the problem here? The immediate issue is I don't have the ability to take 3 inputs, or rather 3 outputs, and put them into 1 input. And if we go back to our handy dandy hub terminal here, you'll see that in logistics we have a thing called conveyor, merger, and splitter. That sounds like something that would be pretty useful, isn't it? Well, let's go ahead and see if we can't accelerate the process of us getting those working. So how many plates we got? 122? Cool. We're getting a little closer. So we're going to need some pipes. So I'm going to go ahead and augment our process here. Got these portable miners burning a hole in my pocket. We're going to have them make some iron. We're going to have all 3 of them make some iron. Because while we have automation, yeah, I still got hands. So those are going to start working. And we're going to use this. We're going to make this an opportunity. We're going to let this keep building those plates, because those do take a little while. And this is running at perfect efficiency, whereas the rods would not, because we would actually smelt ore more quickly than we could manufacture rods. So there's some efficiencies to be gained in the short term, given the current configurations we're allowed to make. Later on, we'll be able to split and merge, and we can actually solve the rod problem, essentially. But for the time being, this is it. I'm going to take these, and we can actually go ahead and drop that copper wire into the hub while these are still working. So let's go to logistics, select milestone, drop that copper wire in there. Easy peasy. Let's see how we're doing on our production over here. Ooh. Limestone for days. Beautiful. I will say, I kind of regret not setting this up while I was manually making everything, but, you know, I had to leave some progression for the video, right? So let's go ahead and, you know, go to my nemesis here and just let's start creating this concrete to begin. Because we gotta make 500 of it. Fortunately, it doesn't take a super long time to create the concrete because you only need 1 tick. So I think you create, what, about 2 concrete per second? Which now probably has you thinking about, oh, how long are we going to be sitting on the stream watching him, you know, mash concrete? Well, you can probably do the math better than I can, so I'm going to just leave that to you. But we're going to get this chunk done for now, and then we're going to go ahead and start putting together some more iron ingots so we can get these rods up as quickly as possible. We actually already have some iron ingots. Now, if we want to be real heroes, which we might, we could do a combination of automated mining and then ferrying ore into detached smelters to create the ingots more quickly. Which does sound a little tempting, I'm not going to lie, but we only need 200 rods, and we need at least 200 rods in interim. We need quite a few plates. So we're going to let those plates keep doing their thing, and we're going to just keep mashing that craft button. And then, in theory, we should be able to knock out quite a few of these upgrades in succession. So I've got 32 rods on me, and no real intention to make anything else with them, so I only need a few more here before I can start finishing up those rods. And that's enough. As you can see, the rods take quite a bit less time to make than the ingots. The smelting really is pretty much the most horrible bottleneck. So it might be worth getting a few more of those smelters up. Because, like, this isn't bad. We can do these rods. So I'm actually going to take my own advice, because I think I've got a little power I can leverage over at that other generator. We're going to get another smelter up. So let's go ahead and do that. Production, smelter, and it doesn't really much matter what direction that's facing. Whoa! Let's go ahead and grab all. Oops. Grab all. Grab all. And of course, we need some power. So we're gonna have to temporarily turn off this guy over here. That's okay. It'll do just fine for a moment. Dismantle the power line. And we're gonna create a power line again to this guy. So this guy's working real hard. Actually, a little bit too hard. We need to extend this back out. Oh, what is he doing? Oh yeah, so he's going into there, which is fine. Yeah, we're gonna just extend our infrastructure out just a little bit here. So we're gonna make this guy's job. So he's gonna pass power here. And he's gonna pass it over to here. And we're back in business. Temporarily halted our plate production, but it's worth it because now we can get a little bit more ore going. Hopefully make our lives a little easier. And all I have to do is just manually stock this. Unfortunately, you can't put more than 100 at a time, so we are going to have to somewhat keep up track of that. But while that's going and eating through that 100, let's go over here and grab all this stuff. Oh, just kidding. My mistake. So let's go over here. And we can finish up that concrete, probably. So let's get her done. Actually, no. Let's be real. Let's finish up the rods. We go to the hub. Rods. Rods. Willing to bet those plates are ready. At least for this upgrade. Oh yeah. That's good stuff. Take all, sort. And we'll put this here. Put this here. And slam that launch button.
Milestone reached. Conveyor belts can now merge and split to increase the complexity and efficiency of your factory. The productivity display will help you measure and improve the productivity of individual buildings to aid with optimization.
Very cool. So now that we got those mergers, we can really lazy automate this. Where's all of our resources coming from? Oh, I have the output facing the wrong way, I'd say. Let's go ahead and tear this down real quick. And then let's build that storage container. Or rather, rebuild that storage container. We're going to just kind of put it right here. It's not messing with anything. Oh, that's kind of annoying. But it's just concrete. So we're going to go and... So, can't afford. Oh, because I need those iron rods. So let's go take some of our automatically smelted ore here. Very nice. Let's feed it some more iron ore. Let's go make myself some rods. And the goal is, I just want to have one-stop shop in here. I don't imagine this will be a long-term installation, but in the meantime, I think it'll be pretty convenient. Actually, let's check on this guy. How's he doing? Analysis of alien carapace is complete. Please choose a new specimen in the list to begin a new analysis. We have... Oh. Awaiting instruction.
Samples are required for R&D to continue developing a defense-oriented blueprint. The creature has been named Phagocoirus plumiuscata, or fluffy-tailed hog.
Oh, what do you know? They have a name now. Fluffy-tailed hog. We need 10 of them. So this is turning into a bit of an exploration opportunity. Because I know I only have 2 in my box here. So we're going to have to go farm some mats before too long. But in the meantime, we don't really need to. And actually, yeah, we're going to let this keep running. So, if you look over here, what's happening? This guy's going and dropping something off. Well, actually, no, I think he's returning. So, from a lore standpoint, you go and you collect all these materials, and then, you know, they go and send it to whatever fix-it motherships out there, I'm assuming. This is how I read into it. You're, you know, sent down here to go and, you know, milk the land of all the resources, Avatar style, get our unobtainium and kill all the local and indigenous people. Sound familiar? And you know what? I'm starting to kind of doubt whether or not we're the good guys the more I think about it, but that would get in the way of me making more factories, so I'm going to choose to ignore it. But let's see what we got next. Conveyor walls. 100, 100, 250. We're probably already there. Honestly. Let's take all. Yep, 100. Let's go to our handy-dandy copper manufacturer, which is right over here. Oh, what's going on here? Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. I killed it. I killed it dead. Okay. Well, that's a little bit annoying. But we'll be okay. The good news is we can probably make this up by hand if need be. But last but not least, let's go here. Oh, it's running out of ore. Pop some more guys in here. Pull some more out of here. We're good to go. And let's create some more rods. Need what, 100 of them? It's not too bad, is it? We're gonna need more in a second, so might as well get to it. And actually, I've reneged on my idea of creating that super container simply because that's really just not the bottleneck right now. So I'd rather spend time manually assisting the process here. There we go. Let's go ahead, select milestone. Drop this off here. Drop this off here. Drop this off here. And slam that launch button.
Milestone reached. To ensure optimal use of space, navigation and tidiness, R&D have developed stairs and conveyor walls.
And yeah, there we go. So you see that we put those resources in there. This guy takes off in the space. And then he, after reconvening with the mothership, comes back for the next load. So we got a couple things we can do here. Oh, what does this say? Pod will return in a minute and a half. I think the first and foremost thing to do is get those rods built. We're gonna still need quite a few plates, I believe. If we look at the space elevator, 250. We even need a little concrete. So we can go ahead and get all that made. 400 rods, 250 plates. Yeah, let's get to it. And what's this guy doing? Oh, we officially need more ore. So let's do a little run over here. And make sure this is totally topped off. And these are pulled out. And then we can go ahead and just start hammering again. Actually, let's get more of this concrete built first. And that is the sound of our little dropship coming back in. Fairly straightforward process. So this is some basic automation here. I did this in the alpha, but if you watch the last videos, you can probably tell that this is going a lot smoother than last time. I think a lot smoother than last time. This is about 4 episodes in. Now, granted, I didn't spend 2 hours hammering rods like I did this time, first time around. But as a whole, I mean, honestly, I'd say it's probably taken about a quarter of the time to get to this stage, considering I'm past where I was before in many ways right now. Yeah, these are just humming along. So let's go grab some more limestone over here. We can finish off that concrete. And I just want this thing to run for a long time because one of the core components of... Oh, please tell me you're still running. Okay, good. Oh my. Oof. Alright, yeah. Space is coming a bit of an issue. Really glad I got that storage space upgrade. I'm going to keep saying it because I'm going to keep feeling it. If we go here, we can probably drop off one of these guys. We need a little space to be able to finish off that concrete. And for the sake of not spending more time here, I want to do that. And then I want to go ahead and drop this concrete off in here. Simply because I want to get more of these rods going. How's the smelter doing? Pretty good. Sort. Pull these out. So now we're kind of hitting our last backlog here in the form of these iron rods. Well, actually, we don't know that. We could need more iron plates. Alright, we're at 216 out of 400. Getting pretty close. How are we doing on plates? Ooh. 100. So we might actually outrun our little perfect machine over there, which is not a problem. That's okay. Just takes a little extra elbow grease to get this done a bit more quickly. We'll grab those. Feed the smelter again. Let's feed this guy. Oh, what did I just do? Nothing good. There we go. Iron ore. Give me them. Oh, do I not have any space for them? That's a problem. That is a problem. How's the biofuel doing? Might be time to make another one of those personal storage containers. Or trash the leaves. I say trash the leaves. I don't really need copper right now. Let's go and grab these. So these are going to be the first thing to kill our productivity over there. Let's make some more rods. And then if we catch up on plates, we'll just make more plates by hand, and we should be pretty close by the time these rods are done. Got 100 some to go. Start making the ingots. Nothing like a job well done, I'll say. How many more of these we need? Need 100 some? We need 126. So that means we need to create 26 more rods. Or rather 26 more ingots than the remaining rods. And then that should actually clear up quite a bit of space. But before I do that, let's make sure this guy's running efficiently. Last thing we want is this guy to crap out, because he's one of our big time savers as well. Go get these. This. Cool. Let's get those rods back up. And we'll start to be able to work through that plate backlog too. And actually, what I might do to save some space is take some of that limestone, just throw it back in the container over here, because it really isn't doing any favors in my inventory right now. Even with the space upgrade, you quickly start to run out. There we go here. Here, sort. Alright. Hopefully we won't need more, and if we do, we know where it is. That's working. That's working. Yeah, look at that. 147, 122. So that's lasting a good long while. Now, it's definitely not infinite. I mean, I've got quite a bit of biofuel, but these are some pretty basic factory chains. We can really test the power grid if we're so inclined. We got 400, 500. Oh, we just need to make some more plates. Let's see how the plate manufacturing is going. We're close. We need 7. You know what? I think we can do that by hand. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't want this guy to be done, though. I want to make all of that. Let's make the plates. Was it 200 or 250? 250. We're not quite done. That's okay. We're very nearly there. Do is craft these. Make another iron run. Grab it out of the manufacturer over there. We should be pretty much there. Let's see. Did it make 10 yet? It did. So let's get that space elevator up. Now, kind of wanting to build it somewhere out of the way. And this looks like a nice spot to me. This will all go over here. I'm not sure what all is this way. Let's take a quick look before we build it. Not a lot here immediately. So we can afford to leave this over here. So let's go ahead and do that. Thank you. Special. Oh no, the wire. How can I forget the wire? So let's see. Did the boys in the basement do their work over here? Come on. Nope. Not at all. Not even a bit. Here I am thinking I was done. This is the alpha all over again, where I was just sitting there smiling that I had all this done, and yeah, look at that bottleneck. So what I can do, let's pull this out, pull these down. Good news is this is something I think that can be solved relatively quickly. So yeah, this kicks out. This smelts it as fast as it can mine it. So I could move the portable miners over there, but I think I'll be plenty busy just hammering these out. And I do have some spare copper, so actually I could get that. I could re-engage that smelter if I was so inclined, which I think I am. So we'll wait a second for that to finish. And we're gonna go and make that copper. As you can see, and we can make the wire pretty fast. So we're probably realistically only a couple minutes out here. I'm gonna hammer this out. I'll even go and check my math before I make any other horrible mistakes. I assume the copper would have taken care of itself. I was wrong. I was wrong. Let's get this wire. Let's get this wire going. So in the alpha, I actually built the copper wire pretty early. And also, I had those machines running a lot longer than this. Like, this hasn't been that long of a session. But they were running for hours before, so I had tons of wire. Which is why I think I lost track of just how long I had it running in the alpha, both while recording and while not recording. Alright. 400 to go. And I might just do this by hand for a second. Because we do have... I believe this is a pure deposit, so we can actually mine this at a halfway decent rate. Yeah. Another thing. In the alpha, we didn't have these pure deposits. It was all crappy deposits. So I actually feel like the bottlenecks were a little bit easier to manage. Weirdly enough, I mean, it wasn't any more productive, but it really wasn't any less productive either, because it just, the bottlenecks were in different spots. So we got, I think, enough of this. We get 100 of it. Beautiful. Yeah, I can go ahead and snag all these guys, and take these guys, sort. I think I'm in a pretty good spot. Help that a little bit along. And hopefully, if I grab these, we should have just about enough to finish this up. Meanwhile, we're gonna have plates for days. Not really, only 74. So let's get these ingots going. We need how many? We need 270 copper wire. So let's get exactly 270 copper wire. Or, you know, as close to exactly as we can. Perfect. And work. And I actually got the space elevator up, if I remember correctly, without the inventory expansion, which, you know, was a little annoying. Had to kind of definitely make a lot of room to get that functioning. But here we go. Where was our spot? We had such a beautiful spot picked out before. What did I do with it? Right over here, right? Maybe? Kind of out of the way. Not doing anything bad. Is there anything over here? Oh. That's a cave. We're gonna take a look at that before too long here. That's pretty cool. But that is not our goal. I wonder if I can just fit it here. Like, really, is there any resource nodes here? I just want to double check, because I don't want to have to move this thing. I don't even know if I can move this thing. We do have a resource node here, but we can snake it along here. It doesn't need to go this way. Now, the $1,000,000 question, does it fit? Floors 2C. Yeah, this thing is huge. This thing is absolutely huge. So we need to find something. We need to find a little more space. Hey, I don't even think this spot will work. Let's go ahead and climb this factory real fast and see if we got a better spot here. Oh, we can. Okay. There it is. I'm gonna roll with it. Is there any reason to rotate it? Oh, there's inputs. Oh, that sounds like a big deal. We have inputs on either side here. Can we... Oh, ooh, we had one. There we go. Oh, and this is actually kind of nice. I think I can run under this. Oh, yeah. Ha! Oh. Whoa. Well, that was a little freaky. So I can sort of run under it. I have sub routes through it and around it. That's actually pretty convenient, if I'm honest. It was completely on accident to build it on a divot like this, but this is good. So let's watch the fireworks for a second. have it. The space elevator is built. We've got some basic manufacturing taking place. We're officially in business. And the next step is to basically start going through and creating these advanced materials, things like rotors, things like reinforced iron plates. But none of that's going to happen, I don't think, until we get that hub. There it is, rotors. Oh, are we allowed to just do it? That's lame. Well, I think that's enough for now. Next session, we will probably do a little exploring while we get basic manufacturing going for both, for all the core basic materials. I'll get that set up offline, and then the next session will be a little bit of exploration. We're going to leave the home base. Probably go down that cave, not going to lie. Alright, well, it's been fun, everyone. This is Weems with Grow Up and Game, and I hope the rest of you have a good rest of your day, week, month, year, and life. See you next time.